Welcome on back to Skippers. Today I'm going to give you guys 3 under the radar ads for your fantasy baseball teams. 3 different players under 10% rostered. We get the complaints, oh, these players are always gone all the time. Still might be gone. They are definitely under the radar and not highly rostered. Video brought to you by Rare MLB once again. Don't forget to subscribe, join the Discord. Now let's get into these 3 players. The first player is Pham, outfielder for the Mets. He's only 8% rostered so far this year. He has an average of 259, 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in, 6 bags, and an OPS of 825. One of the best months in all of baseball belongs to Pham, and he is hitting way too well to only be 8% rostered. Although he's a pretty shitty person, he continues to be really good at hitting baseballs. If you look at his baseball savant chart, it looks more like that of an all-star than someone who is only 8% rostered in fantasy baseball. On this season, Pham has a weighted runs created plus of 124, making him well above the league average, and also ahead of players like Adolis Garcia and Jose Ramirez. Over the last 2 months, Pham is hitting 308 with 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in, and 4 stolen bases to go along with a 983 OPS. In that time, he has a batting average of balls in play of 348, an ISO of 323, and a weighted runs created plus of 165. Pham is hitting the ball as hard as anyone, and thus the expected stats are going to love him. Pham is in the top 10% or better of the league in all of the following categories: average exit velocity, max exit velocity, expected batting average, expected slug, expected weighted on base average, expected damage, and hard hit percentage. Pham hits the ball on average 94.2 miles an hour, which is into the top 2% of all of the league. With the ability for him to hit the ball this hard, this consistently, his batting average should shoot up at some point here, as he has a batting average of balls in play of only 290. In Pete Alonso's absence, Pham has found himself in the 4, 5, or 6 hole as of late, and if you need outfield depth, Pham is going to be that guy. Second under the radar guy to add is David Peralta of the Dodgers. He is only 2% rostered. This season, he's hitting 276, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in, 1 stolen base, and an OPS of 719. Over the last 2 weeks, Peralta has been tearing the cover off the baseball, mainly hitting in the 4 and 5 hole for the Dodgers. I'm obviously going to tell you that he still sits against left-handers, as he only has 9 plate appearances against lefties this season, but tearing the cover off the ball against righties. You see a majority of righties, and you'll see David Peralta in the lineup more than you will not. The last 2 weeks against right-handers, he has a weighted runs created plus of 154, a weighted on-base average just under 400, an OPS of 931, 2 home runs, and 10 runs batted in. Over the last month, he's hitting 377, has an OPS of 950. If we take a look at Peralta's rolling weighted on-base average, as the season has gone on, Peralta has begun to figure things out. Took him from the start of the season until May 20th for Peralta's weighted on-base average to get to league average, and has only seen 1 dip back to league average since that day. Peralta has an expected batting average of 304, which puts him in the top 3% of the league, as well as a hard hit percentage of 53.3%, which is top 5% of the league. Peralta is running the best average exit velocity of his career, as well as the lowest strikeout rate of his career. Although he is walking less, he is hitting fastballs hard, often with not being rewarded for them. He's running the 2nd lowest batting average of balls in play of his career, and I think David Peralta is far too underrated to only be 2% rostered and can be much more valuable than that. As you heard at the top of the show, we are doing a private contest on Rare where you guys get to compete against me, take all your cards, take all your plays, where you can sign up for free and get some great prizes. But this great prize on Rare for the private contest is a free subscription to MLB TV for the winner. If you don't like watching all the MLB games that are out of market for free from the comfort of your own home, you are crazy. So do not forget to join Rare, sign up. It is absolutely free. Join the private contest for this upcoming game week. And again, the winner gets to win an MLB TV subscription. So I'll see you guys on Rare MLB. Now we go to our only pitcher on this list, and that is Hogan Harris of the A's. He is 6% rostered. So far in the big leagues, 2-1, 4.45 ERA, 28.1 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, and a whip below 1 of 0.99. Hogan Harris is giving me big-time Cole Irvin vibes from years past. At some point in all of my deeper leagues, I was always picking up Cole Irvin while he was on the A's, because he is able to go deep into games, and pitching at the Coliseum helped him keep home runs in check, thus making him a half-decent option, but he was always on my wire. Hogan Harris now lines up for his next start on the road against the Jays, who have a weighted runs created plus of only 90 the last 2 weeks against lefties. Looking at Harris's year, he started out at Vegas in the Pacific Coast League, which is notoriously tough to pitch in. In his time there, he had a 3.77 ERA in his 31 innings, innings while only giving up 23 hits and striking out 1 per inning. Over the last 30 days, with starters who have thrown over 20 innings, Hogan Harris has the 8th lowest batting average against, 5th lowest weighted on base average against, and an ERA of 2.57. If you look at the expected stats, they don't love Hogan Harris, but it also feels similar to Bryce Elder, who doesn't have great expected stats, but the counting stats were really great. And as long as you aren't giving players up to acquire these players, then you can take chances on people who have bad expected stats, but the counting stats are going your way. Hogan Harris has an expected ERA in the 81st percentile, 85th percentile expected batting average, and 73rd percentile barrel percentage. Harris has an expected ERA of 3.18, which is a run and a half lower than his actual, as well as a FIP of 3.88. It's obviously not going to anchor your rotation, but if you're in a deep league, this is a solid ad, and everyone could use pitching. There it is, 3 of my deeper league ads, players that are definitely way too underrated right now. Let me know what you think of these 3 guys, and hopefully they would be available on your wire if you need their help. Thank you to Rare MLB again for sponsoring the video. Join the Discord. Do not forget to subscribe. I will see you guys later.